In 1997, when I was 10 years old, I was spending the summer with my grandmother. One day she told me that we were going to Grandpa's house for lunch in Geneva, a small town in Seminole County, Florida, about a 15-minute car ride away. During the car ride, my grandmother and I were listening to the radio. It was a bright, hot, humid, sunny Florida day, about close to 11 a.m., and I was looking out my window when all of a sudden my grandmother slammed on her brakes in her giant Oldsmobile, screeching the tires. Thankfully, no one was behind us. My head shot forward to see why she was braking so fast and driving like a mad woman. And there it was. There was this thing, this creature on two legs. It looked like an orangutan with long orange hair. We were 15 feet away from it. It was about 7 feet tall, walking upright, and it stopped in the middle of the road and stared at us for a few seconds. Well, I turned to my grandmother, and she turned and looked right at me, and we were both in total disbelief. Our mouths were wide open in shock. We turned back to the creature, and it showed us its teeth, sort of like how a chimp shows its teeth, and then it continued on its way. My grandpa's house was only maybe 1,000 feet away. My grandmother told my grandpa and aunt what we had seen. Grandpa said it was Ole Red and started laughing. He was an outdoorsman. He used to live in old campers. Sometimes he'd even sleep outside. Now, remembering having a pet deer, he had squirrels and raccoons and possums, and we would talk about his pet monkey called Ole Red. I never believed him about Ole Red because I never saw it myself. At that time, the deer and the raccoons would come inside his trailer. He would feed them all, and I would sit there just watching him. The nights I stayed with my grandpa, he would try to get Ole Red to come out so I could see him. He'd call out, "Red, Red, Red, come on out." At the time, I was a quiet kid and I never asked him who Ole Red was. Before my sighting, I thought Ole Red was a squirrel. Grandpa was very protective of his wildlife. He said the deer and the squirrels and Ole Red were his and nobody better hurt him or else. He wouldn't even let me touch the deer or the squirrels. He made me sit there and just watch. And my grandpa was a quiet man, and he kept to himself, and he had a few close friends, but that day he laughed his butt off. "You believe me now?" he said, laughing and dancing in circles. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have so many questions. Did Ole Red come inside and sit with my grandfather and eat? What kind of food did he like? How long did it take him to befriend this animal? I found one picture on the internet that looks like Ole Red. There's an old species of primate that exists around here in Florida. You can even visit this creature at the Geneva Springs State Park. Based on that, I think two scenarios could coexist. One, that somebody let the orangutan-like Bigfoot loose and it was somebody's pet at some point, or that there are wild animals that look like orangutans that live in the swamps out here on the St. Johns River.